Hello, friends, and welcome to the Follow the Moon Challenge. My name is Alice in Wonderland, and I'm a little bit obsessed with the moon. This 2026 Follow the Moon Challenge is going to be unlike any other moon challenge because all of the moon cycles in 2026 are slightly shifted and different from what they usually are. We always do this challenge in Aquarius season because Aquarius helps us to think about things differently and to think outside of the box. So it's a perfect time to learn something new about the moon. So I think we're all going to learn something new together about the moon, myself included. I think this challenge is going to be really interesting. So whether you've done the challenge before, I think this is going to be something new and exciting. And if you haven't done this before, then of course it's going to be new and exciting. So I'm really excited to jump into today's video. Know that we are premiering them live every day for 30 days at 11 a.m. Without further ado, let's jump into today's video. Welcome to day 10 of the Follow the Moon Challenge, and all day today we have a waxing gibbous Cancer moon. If we were to use the ocean as an analogy for all of the water signs, I would say that Cancer most accurately represents the beach, like the surface of the ocean. Pisces would be more of that underwater, that kind of mysterious magic that happens right below the surface. And then Scorpio would be the deep, deep sea that it's so dark there and we don't even really know all of the creatures that might be inhabiting it. All of these signs represent water, and all of these signs can be compared to the ocean, but in very different and unique ways. Yes, it's water, emotion, and spirituality, but they all have their own way of representing that energy and that specific energy to their season. Cancer season is the end of June to the middle of July. And the official start of Cancer season is always the summer solstice, initiating us into summer. So Cancer is a cardinal sign. Now, I don't know if everybody feels this way about the ocean. I know some people have a fear of the ocean, but so this analogy of the ocean might not work for everybody, especially if you are afraid of the ocean. But personally, I have always felt supported by the ocean in a very similar way to people say that they feel supported by Divine Mother or Gaia or an earth energy. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because not everybody is going to connect to earth energy. And it took me a very long time to doing hundreds of grounding meditations and putting my roots down and anchoring my root chakra and growing roots out of it and doing all of the regular grounding guided meditations. And I've still never truly felt grounded until I finally realized that I connected very deeply to the ocean and to water energy, and that I feel like cleansed and cleared and grounded and centered when I am near a body of water. And it took realizing that like the bottom of the ocean floor is still it's still earth energy. It's still the like, and it's even further below the surface of the earth. So it took me a really long time to figure this out, and I'm just sharing it here in case maybe you are not one that connects to earth energy very well. Is I started connecting to water energy. When I need to ground, I connect to water energy. Instead of using roots growing from my root chakra, I use an anchor and I drop it to the bottom of the ocean. Sometimes I'll sink to the bottom of the ocean and imagine that I'm walking on the bottom of the ocean floor. And this has truly helped me so much to get grounded and to not feel like I'm needing to run away, needing to escape, because a lot of times getting grounded made me feel like I needed to run away. Like I've never felt safe in a root chakra sense of feeling safe. And another reason I bring this up is because I feel like the reason I connect to water energy so much is because my rising sign is a water sign. So I encourage everybody to look at your chart and see what elements are most prominent. For me, the most prominent elements are water, fire, and air. So I have learned to try to balance out these energies to get earth energy in there somewhere in a way that makes me feel comfortable with it. And so anyways, Cancer is the mother. Cancer wants to love and nurture and to make us feel safe. So I usually use Cancer days for not only self-care days, but also just kind of evaluating where I'm at, using it as a mental health check-in and seeing what things I need to do to take care of myself. And one of those things was discovering the balance of the elements within my birth chart. So I like to, usually the exercises in the Just a Phase Moon Planner for Cancer moon days is evaluating your mood tracker, seeing where you're at and where you need a little bit more support and where you need to be mothered and nurtured and where you need some tough love, which oftentimes that is the case as well. Cancer rules the fourth house of home, family, and emotional foundations. So any planets that are in your fourth house or whatever sign rules your fourth house will give you an idea of how you structure home life, how you structure family life, and also kind of like how you handle and process your emotions. You also want to look to which house is ruled by Cancer in your chart. So for example, my fourth house is ruled by Gemini. So communication and feeling represented and able to express my feelings and emotions are very important to me. And then Cancer rules my fifth house, which is the house of creative expression. So I find that a really wonderful way to regulate my nervous system is through art and creating things. So this is why one of the journal questions in the Follow the Moon journal asks you to locate which house is ruled by the moon sign. That way you know that every month when the moon goes through this house, that area of life might be activated for you during that time, especially emotionally. Take a look at what house is ruled by Cancer for you, because this is going to give you a really good picture of what kind of energy your home environment needs to be and what kind of environment that looks like energetically, emotionally. Like what does your home environment need to look like in order for you to feel safe, cared for, loved, and nurtured? For example, again, my Cancer house being the fifth house of creativity means that I need, like, my home environment needs to express my own creativity. So like my room, you've all seen it on stream, it's very brightly colored. There's flowers everywhere. I have vines growing up the wall. There's murals on the wall of Wonderland, and I have forest curtains. Like, I have to have this like creative explosion in my home environment in order for me to feel safe. Like the home environment that I grew up with was very much the opposite of that, and I was very fortunate to have parents that allowed me to do whatever I wanted with my room and my space at home, because I have to have that creative explosion within my home environment. And my parents are completely opposite to that. They have very Taurus and Capricorn energy, so their home environment was like very crisp and clean and clear, and I like it was like I walked through the room and paint splattered on the wall. Like I could not live in that pristine, clean, neutral environment. So I was very fortunate to have parents who allowed me to do whatever I wanted creatively with my room and my space, and I continue to do that to this day because that's just what works for me. Cancer is my fifth house of creativity. So let me know in the comments which house rules Cancer in your birth chart. And then we can all get to redecorating. I'm only half kidding about that. I do, on Cancer moon days, I do like to clean and like take care of my home environment, because similar to like how I care for my home during Taurus energy, it makes me more productive in the long run. And if I am more productive, I feel better. So the taking care of your home is kind of self-care for me. But also on Cancer moon days, we want to do something that just takes care of the self, that uh, you're encouraged on a Cancer moon day to be the mother that you needed and wanted growing up. And remember that self-care looks different for everybody. And that's why I encourage you to look at the prominent elements in your chart and looking at your Cancer house, because like I said earlier, coloring in a coloring book is self-care for me. But for somebody else, it might be getting a massage or taking yourself on a shopping trip or watching a movie or eating your favorite meal. Self-care looks different for everybody, and I hope that this Cancer moon and this Follow the Moon challenge encourages you to discover what that is for you and what that looks like for you. Thank you so much for joining me for day 10 of the Follow the Moon challenge. This video was a little bit longer than I had anticipated, but I'm very, very passionate about self-care and how that looks differently for everybody. So I hope that you're able to discover that for yourself. I hope that you can join me tomorrow for day 11. We've got more Cancer energy. Technically, we are moving into Leo tomorrow, but not until almost midnight. So we've got another Wax and Gibbous Cancer day. I hope to see you then.